and the praises and the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior. His name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Waharakah Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His Son's name is Yahawashi, in whom I reverence and honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, very few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days. This ain't going to be a long one. I'll usually go 2 hours, 3 hours, right, or 2.5 hours, but because my data needs to be freed up, it's going to be a short one. But Lord willing, just to be edifying to the sincere elect that need to hear this truth. The rest of the people, they're just getting condemned by this word, right? It's about what, 7, it ain't even 8 o'clock in the morning, and you got people walking up and down. There's no stores open. There's no stores open. So we know, you know, they have handlers. These people ain't free. We are free. They're not free. All right, let's go to John, right, 8, and jump straight to verse 31. Then said Yahawashi to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my words. So we have to continue in the words of Yahweh by Sham, Yahawashi, and don't get distracted by what's going on around you. Your outwards, what you see outwardly, because that's what they want, right? They want you to be focused on what you see outwardly, right? That's what they want you to be focused on. You're not supposed to be swayed by that, right? A lot of these people, remember, they get told what to do. They're not free, okay? They are not free, right? They have handlers. They get told when to leave, told when they wake up, what time to wake up, where to go, what to say. Their lives are scripted, so they're not free. In other words, they've sold their soul. They're not free, right? On the other hand, now, you're in this truth, you're free, right? Go to John 8 and 32. Then said Yahawashi to those Jews which believe on him, if you continue in my words, then you are my disciples indeed. So we have to continue in the words of Yahawashi. And if you do that, then you are his disciples, right? And it says, Baba Kasha, verse 32, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. That's not a light thing. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So we're free, right? We don't have people in our ears sending us messages, telling us to go here, go there. We're free. They're not free, right? We are free, they're not free, right? This is how society runs, right? These people are being told what to do, told where to go, right? Unbelievable, right? But that's why, man, this truth is beautiful. It's beautiful. Most of these people, their lives are scripted, and they want you to believe in that script. Well, no, we're not going to do that, right? It's just a minute. So that's why you have to believe in Yahawashi fully. Go to Matthews. This is Matthews, and go straight to verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor. So this is a great labor. This is a great labor that we are doing. And the scripture says, come unto me. So we got to come unto Yahawashi, right? It doesn't say come unto the world. It doesn't say come unto your government agencies, your recruitment agent. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say go to your recruitment agencies. Come unto me, right? All ye that labor and are heavy laden. So this is labor, right? And heavy laden with, could be sins, could be worries, could be cares. And I will give you rest. So we're given rest within this truth, okay? Verse 29, take my yoke upon you. So we also have to take Yahavashi's yoke upon us. What's that yoke? That yoke is what? His burdens, tribulations, right? Okay, what Yahawashi went through. His yoke. So that's what we're taking upon us. The yoke of affliction, right? And it says, and learn of me. So we have to learn of Yahawashi every single day. It's supposed to be learning. A lot of these people, they're just on their phone to their handlers. Oh, would you go here? Would you go there? Oh, you stand here. Right? Robots. Robots for the Matrix. Right? And it's predictable. These people, their behavior pattern is predictable. Right? But they're not God. They're not God. They get told what to do. But it says, Babakasha, and learn of me. Yeah, you're useless. And learn of me. Right? These are devils. Right? That's what they are. Right? So learn of me. We're supposed to be learning of Yahawashi, not of this world. Right? We're not supposed to be assimilating, doing what everybody else is doing, walking around like zombies when there's no shops open. That shows how stupid these people are. There's no shops open. Now I'm out here to teach this word. Why are you out here? To be a devil. That's why. Because you're doing the work of your father, which is Satan. Right? And this really, another thing I've realized as well, someone told me as well, yeah, it's to distract you. To distract you from your purpose. Right? That's what it's for. Right? But we have to stay focused within this truth. So don't fall for the games, man. It's a game with these people. Right? And it'd be the same thing. If I was to catch a train, it would be the same thing. So it's beautiful because what I see here also shows that it happens even when you're traveling. It's the same thing. Right? They just get told where to go and what to do. That's all it is. Right? These people, they don't have life. They don't have no energy source. So they have to feed off other people that have that source. Right? But that's what happens when you don't have Yahawashi. Right? And not everybody's like that, but most. And it says, and I will give you rest. So we have great rest. And where's our rest? Our rest is in Yahweh by Sham, Yahawashi. That's where our rest is. Right? Take my yoke upon you. So we're also taking that yoke, that affliction, that burden. Right? And there's Esau with the, with the sounds. Right? And so forth. Yeah, this man's a devil. And it says, and learn of me. For my yoke, Slakia, and learn of me, for I am meek. So Yahawashi was meek when he was upon the earth. Humble, right? And lowly in heart. So Yahawashi is meek and lowly in heart. And you shall find rest in your souls, right? So that's how we're able to find rest within our spirits when we take Yahawashi upon us, right? How are you a Muslim but you're doing Masonic science? How does that add up? That don't add up. See, these people, they don't even really believe what they claim to believe. Because if you did, you wouldn't be doing. People are, man, right, that's why we're just waiting upon Yahweh. All we got to do is wait upon Yahawashi. That's what we got to do. Right? Yeah, they're slaves, man. They're slaves. Right? Oh, man. Right, this society, bro. When you wake up, you're able to see what's really going on. And learn of me, for I'm meek. And this and you got this guy running left and right. It's orchestrated. Remember, they need to continue it. Right? Man. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest in your soul. So Yahawashi is meek and lowly in heart. And it says we shall find rest in our souls. So guess what? We have great rest. These people, they don't have rest. Because they have to get up when their handlers tell them to get up. They don't have rest. That's a horrible life. To be told what to do. Nothing's wrong with getting told what to do, because we all follow instructions. But getting told what to do every day by a handler, by another man. Right? That's why it's better to serve Yahawashi, because he gives us our instructions. He tells us what to do. Okay? And it says, for my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Yahawashi said his yoke is easy and his burden is light. Go to Peter's. Right? Go to Peter's. This is 1 Peter's. Right? 4 and 6. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of Yahawashi. So we also humble ourselves, right? In the mighty hand of Yahawashi, okay? Under, that he may exhort you in due time. So we're also going to be exhorted when Yahawashi wants that. In due time, right? And it says, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. So let's continue to cast our cares upon Yahawashi, because he cares for us greatly, right? And he hates what? Pride. So we have to remain humble within this truth. Remain humble and receive these words. But you don't want to go into. I want to speak more about Yahawashi, right? That's what I want to speak about. Go to verse, this is Mark 8. In those days, the multitude being very great have nothing to eat. Yahawashi called his disciples unto him and saith unto them, I have compassion on the multitude, because they have not been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. Right? So it says I had compassion on the multitude. Because they had nothing to eat. So you had those that were following Yahawashi. They needed something to eat. They were hungry. Right? And it says, and if I send them away fasting to their own houses, they will be faint by the way, for divers of them came from far. And his disciples answered him, from whence can a man satisfy these men with bread here in the wilderness? It's the wilderness. Where's the bread? Right? Excuse me. And it says, you know what? Excuse me just a minute. Excuse me just a minute. Let me pause this. So it says, Babakasha. And it says, and he asked them, how many loaves have ye? And they said 7. And he commanded the people to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and gave thanks and brake and gave to his disciples to set before them. And they did set them before the people. Verse 7. And they had few small fishes. And he blessed and he commanded to set them also before them. So they did eat and were filled, and they took up of the broken meat that was left. Right? 7 baskets. And they that had eaten were about 4,000. So you got to imagine, there was a few small fishes, and he able to break that between what? 4,000. And make sure all of them had enough. And it says, and took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets. And they that had eaten were about 4,000. He sent them away. And straightway he entered into the ship with his disciples and came unto the pass of Dalmanphana. And the Pharisees came forth and began to question with him, seeking him of a sign from heaven, tempting him. Right? Because the Pharisees were very carnal. Right? And it says, Babakasha, and he sighed deeply in his spirit. Right? And saith, what? Why does this generation seek after a sign? Verily I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. You can shake your heads, but it's the truth, right? And it says, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. So you had Israelites that were always looking for signs because they were unfaithful. Now, is there anything wrong with wanting a sign? But these were unfaithful Israelites that were seeking a sign. And it says, no sign shall be given unto this generation, not all the generations, this generation, which was what? The wicked Pharisees. Right? And it says, Babakasha, and he left them and entering into the ship again departed to the other side. So there was people, even Yahawashi, he had to deal with what? People following him for miracles, for signs, for different various reasons. And he left them and entering into the ship again departed to the other side. Now the disciples had forgotten to take bread, neither had they in the ship with them more than 1 loaf. And he charged, right, them saying, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. I don't know where this lesson's going to go, but he said, take heed of the leaven of the Pharisees. And we're going to explain what the leaven was, right? And of the leaven of Herod, right? And these Pharisees were sitting on them seats with Herod, by the way, right? And it says, and they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have no bread. So they didn't understand what bread he was talking about, right? And when Yahawashi knew it, he saith unto them, why ye reason ye? Because ye have no bread. Perceive ye not, neither understand, have ye not heard? Yet you hardened, right? And it says, Baba Kasha, having eyes see not, having ears hear not. Do you not remember? When I break the 5 loaves, key thing, the 5 loaves, right? Among 5,000, okay? How many baskets full of fragments took ye up? They say unto him 12. And when the 7 among 4,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? And it says, they said 7. And he said unto them, how is it that you do not understand? Right? Because it was leaven, which was the doctrine of the Pharisees. That was the leaven. And he said to Baf, shut up. Right? And they bring a blind man unto him and besought him to touch him. So there's all types of things that were going on. A lot of miracles that Yahawashi was doing. Right? And it says, Baba Kisha, and he took the blind man, right, by the hand and let him out of the town. And when he spit, right? Okay, yeah, you're useless, right? And it says, bro, masonry, no masonry works against Yahawashi, right? People are silly. And it says, and he led them out of the town, right? And when he had spit on his eyes, put his hands upon him, and he asked him, and he sought out. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. And after that he put his hands upon his eyes and made him look up, right? And he was restored and saw every man clearly, right? And it says, and he sent him away to his house, saying, neither go into the town, nor tell it to any in the town, right? And Yahawashi went out and his disciples into the towns of Caesarea Philippi, and by the way of his disciples, right? And it says, Baba Kasha, check this out, saying, Rem, who do men say that I am? So they wanted to know who was men saying that Yahawashi was, right? So we're going to go into it. They answered, John the Baptist. Some say Elias. So some was thinking Yahawashi was John the Baptist. Some were saying Elijah, right? They could not quite tell at that time. This place is sick. And it says, and they answered John the Baptist, but some say Elias. This place is sick. Elias, others, one of what? John the Baptist. This place is truly sick, man. Abominations walking all about. Right? Nasty. And it says, that's why the Lord Yahawashi is going to destroy this place. That's why the Lord's going to destroy this place. Disgusting. What? That is disgusting. That's an abomination. What? No, the scripture says I can do that. The scripture says, the scriptures against sodomy. The Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? Huh? I'm not condemning him. It's the scriptures that's doing it. Right? Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Disgusting. You know what? Let's go to Peter's. 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 Let's go to it. You should have never been born. You know, you're a walking abomination. Right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to 2 Peter's 3. Disgusting. Disgusting. Let's go to 2 Peter's 3. Let's go to 2 Peter's 3 and 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example, right? And children have to see that. Children have to walk past that nastiness. And she's telling me you can't condemn. Let's read it. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them. So he condemned these cities. He condemned nastiness like that. Them abominations. That's what he was condemning. Right? And bro, you have children that will walk past that and they will say, Mommy, Daddy, what's that? And they have to explain what that sickness is. Then you have that stupid black bitch that walked past and that were saying you can't condemn. The scripture says condemn them with an overthrow. So Sodom and Gomorrah was condemned with an overthrow because of the wickedness that was going on, because of that abomination. That was a man. A man that had what, tight pants on with fake hair. That abomination, and that's what's accepted in this society. And with an overthrow, making an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So that's why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed as an example of how not to live. Right? That's the example. And it's Sodom and Gomorrah, what is it today? Fire and brimstone. Example of how not to live. Right? But this is what happens when you've got degradation within society. That's what it produces. That's what it produces. And it says, making an example of those that should live ungodly. Bro, that was filth. Bro, you didn't even see it. If you saw it, you would throw up. You'd throw up. That was disgusting. That was a transgender. Right? Make me feel sick. Right, bear me just a minute. And it says, and that the righteous man dwelling among them, verse 8, who was Lot. And it's always the black woman that advocates for that type of thing as well. Always the so-called black woman. Oh, you can't condemn them. No, it's the word that's condemning them. Right? And you nothing but abominations that was coming out of his mouth. Nothing. And it says, and delivered just Lot. So just Lot was delivered from that. Delivered. Vexed with the conversation of the wicked. Vexed. So you're supposed to be vexed when you hear that talk. What's coming out of that man? You're supposed to be vexed. You're not supposed to lay in that filth and be comfortable with it. Right? You're supposed to speak up against it. Right? Not justify it. And it says, and seeing and hearing, so Lot saw and heard, because he was living amongst the Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? Hearing vexed his righteous soul. So when you hear the wickedness of what goes on in society, that's supposed to vex you up. When you see these abominations walking up and down. Transgenders. Right? You're not supposed to look, fire for them. You had one that just walked past. Right? And a woman was telling me, no, you can't judge, you can't condemn. No, it's the scriptures that are condemning her. Him, that thing. It's not even a him, it was a thing. And it says, vex his righteous soul from day to day with the unlawful deeds. So, when we see these abominations, it vexes our soul if you're in the right spirit. If you're not in the right spirit, then it ain't going to vex your soul. You're going to be complacent with the abominations. And you're going to accept it. And it says, verse 9, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation. So, just know that. Right? Oh, man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. The Lord knows how to deliver the godly out of temptations. So the godly will be delivered out of temptations. And it says, and to preserve the unjust to the day of judgment. So the unjust are going to be delivered to that day of judgment. Right? And I'm not going to pan the camera on it. Right? Because it just walked past. Right? And you have to accept that. That's why too, look, bro, there's a woman where the scripture says, a man and woman created he. A man and woman. Right? This is filth. And people will look at that and smile like it's good because you're mentally sick. That's a demon. That's a demon. And to reserve unto the day of the unjust, unto the day of judgment to be punished. So again, something like that has to be punished. I'm telling you, this place is sick. This is what, hey bro, this is one freak show, man. This is a freak show. But guess what? Most people, they come up against us, but they won't say nothing about that. And they have their children look at that and accept that. That's why the Lord's going to take this place out. You got his nasty ass bum cheeks hanging out, all that. That's nasty. Probably got shit stains all over the place. Right? But that's why a woman and man was created. A woman and a man. So they can procreate. Bear me just a minute. See if I can find it. Right? So this is, see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it. Go to Genesis. We're going to read Genesis. Genesis 2. And go straight to verse 18. And the Lord Yahawashi said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. So that helpmeet was who? That helpmeet was a woman. So a woman's supposed to be a helpmeet to you. Right? Okay. Here's some more zombies. Right? So that's what he was supposed to be. A helpmeet. What? What's that? Right back and talk shit. Hold on. And it says, so a woman's supposed to be a helpmeet. Right? That's what a woman's supposed to be, because she was created to be a woman. Right? That's why a woman has breast, a vagina, right? And a man has a rod, because a man's supposed to insert his rod into that woman. It's simple mathematics. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha. And out of the ground the Lord power formed every beast. You might as well go into Genesis, the breakdown of the serpent. And of fire every air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle and all to the fowls of the air and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, right, there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Lord power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept and took one of his ribs. That rib represent the woman. That's why the woman is a weaker vessel. Right? And the rib represented the relative, by the way, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord power had taken from the man made he a woman. That's why she's the weaker vessel. And that's why she needs to be ruled over. And brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this now bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. Right? She was taken out of man. So the woman was taken out of the man. Right? Wherefore shall a man leave his father, right? Leave his father and his mother, right? And cleave unto his wife. So that's how it's supposed to go. Leave your mother, leave your father, and you cleave unto your wife. Okay? And shall cleave unto his wife, and there shall be one flesh. So, one flesh. Man and woman. Okay? That's how it's supposed to go. Okay? Man and woman. Okay? And they both were naked. Right? The man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Because they were doing the right thing. They were doing righteousness. Right? Now the serpent is more subtle than any beast. Right? More subtle. Right? Than any beast upon earth. Of the fruit which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, have the Most High said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Right? What's that tree? Right? That's them philosophies. Them philosophies that our people lap up. The philosophies of the devil, of Satan. Right? That do as thy will. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Right? So that, remember, the woman's the weaker vessel. She's more easier to be manipulated. That's a fact. Right? Alright, more of the zombies have to go now. Right? Get their marching orders from Satan. That's zombies. Right? And it says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden. Right? And well, you don't know what they do in these buildings. They're probably doing all types of witchcraft in these buildings. All types of witchcraft. All types of sorcery. Right? But it says, but the fruit of the tree, which is in the midst of the garden, right? The Most High have said, ye shall not eat of it. So the fruit represent, what did the fruit represent? Philosophies of evil, right? The left-hand side, Aleister Crowley, Anton LaVey, witchcraft. That's what it represented. And he's putting up his thumb because he knows about these people. They were warlocks. You study about what Aleister Crowley and them dark arts and cunning craft, right? And it says, Most High said, you shall not eat of it. So we're not supposed to be eating of those ways, right? Of evil. Because remember, it says they were not ashamed because they didn't do any evil, right? Neither shall you touch it lest ye die, right? And it says, and the serpent, right, said unto the woman, right? Because the woman's the weaker vessel, and she caters more to the left-hand side, right? You shall not surely die. So the serpent, it was a man, by the way. The serpent wasn't a snake. The serpent represents a man, right, upon earth. Okay? For the Most High doth know that in the day you eat, then whereof your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, right? Knowing good and evil. So once you devour of that fruit of the serpent, you would what? Learn and know about good and evil. Both sides. So you would know about both sides of that spectrum. So how do you think evil's being played out today? Because now we know about both sides. Both sides of the spectrum. Right? Why do you think we sin? Because now we know both sides. And it says, and you shall be knowing good and evil. That's called duality. Right? That's what it's called. So now we know about both sides, right, of the spectrum. And it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes, it says that it was good for food and pleasant to the eyes. Because remember, Satan works upon the flesh and he presents something to you that seems good, that may seem good. That's how Satan operates. So everything that's bad, he can present it to you like it's good. That's how Satan operates, right? This is how he operates, right? Okay, and it says, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, so she took of the fruit. So it says desire to make one wise. Is there knowledge of, there's knowledge of evil, but the knowledge of good is so much better. Thereof, and did eat, and one wise she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave unto her husband with her. And he did eat. So Adam followed, and the eyes of them were both opened, and they knew that they were naked. How did they know? Because it's a knowledge of good and evil. That's what it's a knowledge of. Good and evil. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha, and that's the realization of sin. Right? Realization of sin. Okay? Okay, these people are so predictable. Everything they do. Right? The messages they send. Yeah, you don't, after some time, you don't really get too bothered about the witchcraft, and that doesn't really bother you because it comes with the territory. You just got people that are working for the kingdom of darkness. That's all. So you don't really get too offended at it. Right? So let's continue. See, that's the knowledge of what evil. Right? Witchcraft, voodoo, whatever you want to call it, that's the knowledge of evil. Okay? And it says, and they realized they were naked because they realized their sin. And they sold fig leaves. Right? They sold fig leaves. So they tried to cover that sin. That's why they sold fig leaves. To cover that sin. To hide that shame. That's why they were sowing fig leaves. Right? So that's what happened in the time of Adam and Eve. Right? They knew the knowledge of what good and evil. And it says, and they heard the voice of the Lord power, walking in the garden, right? In the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord power among the trees of the garden. So does that mean they were hiding among the trees? No. They were hiding among people, right? They were hiding among the different nations. That's what it means, hiding among the trees, right? And it says of the garden, which represents the nations, by the way, okay? And the Lord power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, right? Because I was naked and I hid myself. So it says I was naked and hid myself. So he came to the realization he was naked. And he hid himself. That was that shame. That Adam realized he had sinned. Right? And he said, who told thee that I was naked? So how would Adam know he was naked? It was the realization of sin. Right? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, right? The woman which thou gavest to be with me, she gave me the tree and I did eat the philosophies and he did eat. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha. And the Lord power said unto the woman, right? And you have people video folding us as well. Yeah, they got judged for that. You know, for video folding us, spreading our intel around. That's evil as well. Right? And it says, what is this that thou hast done? Right? What hast thou done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me and I did eat. I was tricked. The serpent tricked me. Right? And that same serpent is back here again today. Right? Deceiving the people. Right? And it says, the serpent beguiled me, right? Tricked him, and I did eat. And the Lord Yahawashi power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, right? And above every beast of the field, above all nations. And out of all the nations, Esau is the most cursed, right? And you can see who the handlers are as well. You can see who's doing, even when you look around here, you can see who's doing a lot of the handling, because you have chief handlers as well. But I don't have no handler except from Yahawashi. The rest of the people, they have handlers, right? And that's a witch. That's definitely a witch. You can tell the way she walks, what she's got on, right? But your witchcraft ain't working. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and thus thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between the woman and between thy seed. This is speaking about Israel's seed and Esau's seed. And it shall bruise thy head and thou shalt bruise his heel. Alright? So, what is this? That's the enmity. Yeah, you're still useless. Right? So, that's the enmity. Right? Between what? That seed. Okay? And it says, and unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply them. And bro, I'm telling you, brothers, you know you have a spiritual gift, a strong spiritual presence when they have to send out all these witches. You have a high spiritual presence. Right? This is real. Bear with me just a minute. And it says, Baba Kasha, and I will, and to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and the desire shall be to thy husband, and he will rule over thee. Going back to the lesson, and he will rule over thee. That's the order of things, right? So we went to that, we can basically go through this, we can go into a lesson. And he shall rule over thee, right? That's the order, the righteous order of things, right? And he shall rule over thee. So the serpent, he's still deceiving people today and beguiling them greatly, right? Still beguiling people. What else? I want to think of what else can I go to? Revelations 21. Because this serpent today, who would a serpent be if you were to refer to a nation? It would have to be Esau, right? It's Esau. Esau is that serpent. Right? It's a nation. And that's what they don't want you to know. Revelations 20, right? I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit, which represents Yahawashi. And that bottomless pit is Europe. Europe was that known as that bottomless pit. That's why they had to go to different lands, right? And a great chain in his hand. So Europe was that bottomless pit, and there was a great chain in the heavenly, in Yahawashi's hand. And he locked up what? The serpent. He locked up that serpent. So that serpent would represent a nation, right? And remember, Esau was not always ruling. He was under captivity underneath us. And he laid hold on the dragon. Key thing, dragon, serpent, same thing. Right? Same thing. The old serpent, which is the devil. So the serpent and the devil, they're the same thing. Right? So the serpent is the devil. Right? You know that? Okay. And it says, and Satan bound him 1,000 years. So the serpent, which was a nation, was bound for 1,000 years. Because you can't put a serpent in slavery. So this serpent was talking about a nation that was bound. Right? And this was during the Byzantine Empire. Right? Byzantine. Right? Between, I don't know the times, what, 800s to mid 1500s. The Byzantine Empire, type it in. Right? To 1600s, 1400s, which is the Dark Ages. Right? And therefore, they were locked up, they were bound for that amount of time. Right? And that was the serpent. It was known as the Roman Empire. And, you know another thing? The dragon is the Roman Empire symbol as well. Yeah. Okay, the dragon. Right? Why do you think Wales has a dragon on his thing? Because Wales was also ruled by Scotland as well. Not by Scotland, by Romans. So the dragon symbol also represents the beast. Right? And it says that dragon, the old serpent, it says old serpent. So the dragon and the old serpent, they're connected. And what's the symbol of China? They celebrate the dragon, right? So that's that, say it's the old symbol. Right? The dragon, the old serpent. That was revived. And it's revived today as NATO. Right? And it says, and this is what they want to implement. The dragon, the beast, wants to implement this right here. Right? And you'll have people, they're going to serve this system. This is the system, but that's being built before your eyes. Okay? It's time to wake up. Right? Okay? And it says, and bound him 1,000 years. So, yes, the serpent was bound 1,000 years. Right? That's a long time. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he shall deceive the nations no more. So yeah, there was a seal set upon him, that he shall deceive the nations no more. Right? Because that's what the serpent does. His whole thing is, the devil is to deceive the nations. Right? Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he may be loose a little season. So, this serpent has been loosed. He was loosed during what, the Renaissance period, during Caesar Borgia. So he's loosed again today. And he's running rampant. Right? And I saw thrones, and it says, and they that sat upon them, and the judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. So you're also going to have brothers that they're going to be beheaded. They're going to be beheaded. Right? And it says, for the witnesses of Yahawashi and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, and neither his image, which is this. Right? And it says, Babakasha, neither had received their marks in their foreheads. So they did receive the mark. Right? In their foreheads. What's the mark? This is the mark. In their foreheads, the karagma, incision, imprint, stamp, belonging to what? The Antichrist. Right? Karagma, incision, stamp, imprint, bedding, right? So this is what they're going to bring forth in real time, right? Yeah, bro, they could do their little witchcraft, but that ain't going to work anyway, right? People are stupid and they're following after the beast, right? Willingly following after the beast. And it says, Baba Kashab, who have not worshipped the beast and his image. This is the beast, this mark, and this is what they want to input in people. They want to ingrain this mark in people so they can have them controlled everywhere they go. So everywhere you go, it's going to be on a database. So they want a human global database of everything. Every single thing they're going to be able to track. All whereabouts, they're going to be able to track it. Right? Everything you're thinking, they're going to be able to track on this device and this device alone.
What's up, man?
Right?
Yeah, man, how are you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? You can see what I'm teaching the Bible. Right? I'm sure you know what I'm doing. Most of these people, the shops ain't open. Most of these people.
It's like 1 second, third time recording that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, most of these people, they just send here to, monitor me, and they have to walk around because they have handlers. So you see this guy jogging right here, running. He has to because he's been given orders to get to a certain place at a certain time. You're going to find out a lot of these people, they have handlers. They get told where to go, when to wake up, what time, what colours to wear. But me, I'm free because I have the Bible. So this is what's going on. But I'm teaching the Bible, I'm teaching the mark of the beast. They're going to implement this globally. It's going to be a human global database. In Revelation 13 and 16, it says he calls it all, both small, great, rich, poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So this is the mark I'm just speaking about before you turn up. And this is what they're going to do globally.
Like to control.
Oh yeah, to control every single movement. What you're thinking, when you're going to bed, your emotions, they can manipulate your emotions. Which they have technology, which they can do that already. Because people are being manipulated by technology, right? But this is going to be on a large scale. Because they have something called V2K. They have particular weapons where they can manipulate people, MK Ultra, but this is going to be on a large scale. This is what's coming to a city near you. And I'm just here to warn people to get right and don't take the shit. It's not really up to me, it's up to the Heavenly Father, whether these people take it or not, but these people are going to take it, most of them, and it goes into the beast, because this is a beast system, right? So they have, what do you call it, the 5G, 4G, you know about the 5G, 4G?
Wi-Fi.
Yes, networks, and that's what they're using. They're using these networks, and that's how they're able to keep a track. And even me, they can keep a track of me. They know where I'm going, because you have something called algorithm, and an algorithm keeps a track of. Say I have a certain pattern where I go. Well, it will pick up on it. The algorithm will pick up on that, and it can do what? Process data. So even with these lessons, it's processing me, my emotions, how I feel, right? How long I'm on this. It has all that, even on YouTube, as data analyzation. So this is what time we are in. Very, very, very serious time where everything is going to be tracked. Everything. Because right now they cannot track everything. As it says in Revelations 13 and 16. He calls of all, both small, great, rich, poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And whoever does not buy, whoever does not have cannot buy nor sell. So if you don't have this mark, you're not going to be able to buy, neither are you going to be able to sell. So it's going to be a hard time for all of us. You're going to be, basically, you're going to be labeled void, you're going to be labeled the enemy of the state. That's what's going to happen if you don't have that shit. Because you're going to be, some people are going to be going into stores, you don't have it, well, you can't enter into the store. Not probably, definitely.
Have a good one, bro.
Alright, man, yeah.
You're right, today in the morning, I didn't sleep, I was just scrolling, and I was thinking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah?
That's why I went on a ride to London, man. I live near Gatwick,
All the way to Gatwick?
Yeah, no, I'm going Gatwick to London, man. I was thinking about these kind of things, like...
You rid from all the way from Gatwick?
Yeah, but I'm going to London.
Wow.
But yeah, have a good one, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, take care.
You too.
Yeah, man. So this is what time we're in. This is what time we are in. Which you're gonna have a complete global lockdown, and the people need to hear this, right? And it says, let's go to verse 5, right? But the rest, right? Bear me just a minute. Go to, hold on. but the rest of the dead are moving too fast. And they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. Right? This is the first resurrection. Right? So we want to be part of what the first resurrection. Right? That's what we want to be a part of. We don't want to experience the second death. Right? The second death is what? Permanent nuclear destruction. That's that second death. As you see these people, they have their heads glued to their phones. Because they're what? Slaves to the beast. Right? And it says, blessed and holy is he that are part in the first resurrection. So that's what we want to have part of the first resurrection. No such. On such the second death have no power, which is what? Their missiles. Right? But they shall be priests of the Most High, and shall reign with him for 1,000. So that's the first resurrection. Reigning with Yahawashi. I know everybody, when they walk past, they look right at their agency. Yeah, they're getting orders from their agencies as well. Zombies. Right? See, it's part of the beast. You can see the ones that are easily manipulated by the beast. Right? And it says, and when the 1,000 years have expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, which is Russia, and to gather them together to the battle, to the number of whom is the sand of the sea. And they went up at the breadth of the earth and compassed the camps of the saints about a beloved city. And fire came down from heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, which is going to be indicative of what? The permanent nuclear destruction that's going to come upon earth. Right? And it says, where the beast and the false prophet are. Right? And shall be tormented day and night forever. So those that take this mark, they're going to be tormented for a long time. Right? And that's going to be through permanent nuclear destruction. I saw a great white throne and him that sat on it, which is the Messiah, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no more place for them. And I saw the dead, right, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were opened, and another book were opened, right, which is the book of life, right? And the dead were judged out of those things, right?
When you belong to God,
and which were written in the book according, right? So they were judged out of the books of life, right?
You don't read these words.
And the dead were judged, right? Out of those things which were written in the books, their works, and the sea gave up the dead, right? So they were judged according to the things that were written in the book, right? So we're all going to be judged according to the things that were written in the book. So all our lives are played out according to prophecy. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and the death and hell were delivered up the dead, the grave, which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works upon earth. And that's why repentance is key right now, right? And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, right? And it says, this is the second death, right? So we want to experience the first resurrection when we make it on this side. Lord willing, I want to get beamed up in them chariots. I want to go out like Elijah did. I want to go out like Elijah did, right? To see no death, okay? And whosoever was not found written in the book of life, cast into the lake of fire. So those that are going to be cast into the lake of fire are those that took that chip. They're going to be the ones that were cast into that lake of fire. Don't take that chip, right? And the infrastructure is being set up. Go to Job 20, 21. This is all prophecy, right? Job 21. Okay, Job 21, and go to Job 20, And 5, the triumphing of the wicked is short, right? So their victory is short-lived, okay? And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment, it's only for a little moment, okay? And it says, Babakashah, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds. So his excellency, just look at the buildings of tall skyscrapers, that's his excellency. And it's mounting up to the heavens, right? It says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, his head reach unto the clouds, his decadence, right? That represents his decadence, okay? Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. So this man's going to perish forever, right? And it says, and his head, hold on, moving too fast. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Right? Where is he? He's going to be a thing of the past. Okay? And it says, he shall fly, verse 8, he shall fly away as a dream. So this man's going to fly away as a thing of the past, as a dream. Right? And it says, Babakashah, he shall be not found. So this man is going to be a thing of the past. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye which saw him shall see him no more. Neither shall his place any more behold him. Verse 10, his children shall seek the peace of God. His hands shall restore their goods. Right? His bones are full of the sin of his youth, going back to pain. Right? Which shall lie down with him in the dust. No wickedness be sweet in his mouth. Though he hide under his tongue. Though he spare it not. But forsake it, but still keep it within his mouth. That's talking about Esau. Yet his meat and his bowels is turned into the gall of asps, right? Poison. Right? It says, he hath swallowed down riches. So Esau, he swallowed down a lot of riches. Right? The riches of the other nations. Okay? Though he hath swallowed down riches, he shall vomit them up again. So all these riches he swallowed up, he's going to have to vomit them right back up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. All these riches, he's going to have to give that up. Right? He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he laboured for shall he restore. Everything he laboured for, he's going to have to restore it. He's going to have to give it up. Right? And it says that shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. Right? He shall not rejoice. Right? Therein, because he have oppressed and forsaken the poor. So this man, when he was up on earth, he was doing nothing but oppressing the poor. And it says, because he have violently taken away, right? And house which he builded not. Right? Going into Micah 2, they violently take away houses and so forth. And it says, Babakashah, surely he shall not feel quietness within his belly. So there's going to be nothing but, anarchy for Esau, trouble in his kingdom. Right? And it says, he shall not feel quietness in his belly. Right? And you can tell when someone's living witchcraft, you just feel their energy, their dark energy. And he shall not say that which he desired. He ain't going to be able to say that. There shall none of his things be left. Right? Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, a difficult position. Right? Every hand of the wicked shall what? Come upon him. Right? So Esau, the elites, bro, they know this. Right? And that's why they try and everything they do to hinder this word. Okay? And it says, when he is about to fill his belly, right? The elites, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. Just when he thinks everything's alright, the Lord's going to cast that fury of his wrath right upon him. just when you think he's got his new world order, just when you think everything's smooth, that's when he's going to cast that wrath upon you. All of a sudden, right? That's when he's going to do that. And it's going to be all of a sudden, right? They call it the element of surprise, right? So he's going to suffer the element of surprise, okay? And it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save that which he desired, right? Where shall none of his meat be left, which the meat represents goods, by the way. Where shall none of his goods be left, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits, a difficult position, right? Every hand of the wicked shall be upon him. Every little hand of the wicked is going to be upon Esau, right? Every hand of the wicked. And it says, shall come upon him. This is going to be via these other nations, right? So the other nations, what are they going to do? They're going to turn against Esau, right? And it says, Baba Kasha, check this out. When he is about to fill his belly, he shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, right? Which is their missile, right? And it says, Baba Kasha, while he is eating, this is indicative of his new world order. So while he thinks he's got everything under wraps, that's when their missiles are going to fly. When he thinks he's got everything under control, right? And it says, while he is eating, this is indicative of that new world order, right? He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through, right? It is drawn out of the body, right? This is what their missiles, right? Yeah, the glittering sword, because their missiles look like a glittering sword, right? Cometh out of his gown, terrors are upon him on every side. So terrors are upon this man on every side, every single side. The terrors are upon him, right? On every side. So Esau, he's going to be in dire straits, dire panic. All these nations are going to turn on him. It's going to be a World War III, right? All these nations, okay? And it says, Baba Kasha, check this out. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. All darkness is going to be hid in Esau's secret places. Okay? Fire not blown shall consume him. That fire that's not been blown will devour Esau. Right? We're going to shut off soon. We shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. So those that are dwelling in Esau's tabernacle, it's not going to be nice. It's going to go ill with those that are in his tabernacle. Right? In America, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The earth is going to rise up against Esau. Right? And it says, the increase of his house shall depart, and all his goods. So all his increase is going to depart. And you can always tell who the handlers are as well. Whose people's handling, who's calling the shots. You can always tell. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha, and his goods shall throw away in the day of his wrath. Right? And it says, this is the portion of a wicked man. Right? Portion of a wicked man. Right? And his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Right? So all them goods are going to flow away. And your witches and your warlocks and your priestesses, alright, and so forth, they're not going to save you from the judgment to come. Because it's going to be great judgment upon this kingdom. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High. Right? And the heritage appointed. Key thing, heritage. Right? Appointed. Okay? Appointed unto him by the Most High. So this is what's appointed to what? The elites, the rulers, and so forth. This is what's appointed to them. Right? So without further ado, my data's running out, so we're going to shut off. Lord willing, this was edifying. Until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect across the globe. Shalom.